All right.
We are live, it says.
Yay.
We are live.
Talk Thursdays. Talk Thursdays.
Love Talk Thursdays. Talk Thursday without a cocktail. Gotta love that.
Where's your cocktail?
I don't have one.
You've been talking about this cocktail all day.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have one. Not yet.
Oh,
I needed to be able to talk for Talk Thursday.
Slacking.
You wanted me to be able to talk, right?
Yeah, you got to be able to talk. That's
there
right.
you go.
That's right. All right. So today we're talking about, and we should make sure that we keep an eye on the time here. Today we're talking about, yes, 5:55. So we want to stop at 10. Today we're talking about habits, right? Because habit change is a huge part of any kind of goal, right? Any commitment to any goal, especially when you're talking about a long-term lifestyle goal. And it's something that we really value in terms of our programming here as coaches at Fit New Life, right? So let's talk about that a little bit. You know, we have the habit change, the 21-day habit change challenge coming up. You know, that's coming up on Monday. We do the kickoff on Sunday, and we'll be doing that every month. So here's the thing. They're not the only ones that has gone through that kind of a process of how do we either get rid of an old habit that's not really helping us get towards our goals, or how do we attain a new habit and get that into, our routine. So I just thought that it would be a good idea just to talk a little bit about a habit that maybe you wanted to change, or a habit that you have changed, and kind of like what that experience was like.
Easy. It's funny. I've changed many habits over the years. I mean, I can go back to when I was young. Mm-hmm. That was a long time ago. But when I was 24, it was a long time ago. When I was 23, let's say,
okay,
I was about 40 pounds heavier than I am now.
Okay.
So I've had to change that habit.
Wait, what habit specifically? You were 40 pounds heavier, but what habit did you change in order to change?
It was, I had to change my way of thinking about food.
Okay.
And the way and I also had to start moving. So it was like twofold, right?
Okay.
That was back then. But that challenge, obviously, I was able to accomplish. I would almost want to talk more about the goal that I set for myself just recently and was able to accomplish, because that's so much clearer. Yeah. So, and it ended up actually being a challenge for church. We were doing a 21-day challenge.
Yeah.
For church.
Yes, I remember.
So the idea was to give something up. And being the person that I am, God forbid I ought to just give up one thing and work on changing one habit. I had to work on changing. It was still what I ate, but it was two different things. I decided to cut out everything salty and everything sweet for 21 days.
What'd you eat? So you mean just like added salts and added sugar. So like you could have stuff like, for instance, fruit that has, natural sugars and fructose and stuff. Okay, so you could do that, but nothing added. That's what you're saying.
No, right. I gave up cake, cookies, pies, candy, all that stuff. Okay, which
and chips, and
I gave up chips and corn chips, and I love hint of lime, Tostitos. I mean, that all went by the wayside. I even didn't eat crackers.
Wow.
So, like if we were going to sit down and eat crackers and cheese, that all came to an end.
You couldn't do that. Wow. Okay.
So, I mean,
I remember you going through this and you talking about it, but this is good because this is deeper than I was aware of. So that was difficult for you.
It was extremely difficult because just like with all of our habits, they come from another habit, or so it seems. So for example, most of my eating took place at night when I was watching TV.
Okay.
So my habit was watching TV. So I always went out and got a snack. Okay. So that was the first thing that I had to overcome. Not watching TV. I was still going to watch TV, but I had to be aware of the fact that
Right.
watching TV triggered me to want to go out in the kitchen and get something
Yes.
to eat.
Yeah. Yeah. It become a part of your loop.
Exactly. So,
Mhm.
so I said, okay, well, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch TV. I'm going to make a cup of tea.
Okay.
No sugar, no anything.
Got it.
Granted, I replaced something with something else,
Yeah.
but not all the time. And I ended
Mhm.
up replacing it with something that was better for me. I only did that for the first couple of nights. And then after that, I just said, well, I'm just not going to think about this. I'm just going to, and I was working and stuff while I was watching TV on and off. And I
So
just,
then you didn't have
like,
the tea or anything. You just watched the TV and
right,
nothing.
right.
Okay.
Drank
But you
my
kind of had
water.
to wean yourself off of that a little bit, right?
It was like a couple of days, right, that I had to do that. And it was difficult sometimes,
Yeah.
particularly when my husband was eating the stuff that I wanted to eat.
Yeah.
But that being said, it was like, well, you're going to have to go out in public. You're going to see people. They're going to be eating stuff. You're not going to eat it. I knew that it was something that I wanted. That was a goal I wanted to achieve. It was
Yeah.
important to me. And as hard as it was, I decided that I was just going to make that change and do it. And I can honestly say that probably the second week into it, the end of the second week, I wasn't even really thinking about it anymore. I was sitting down and watch TV and I wasn't thinking about getting a snack and I wasn't thinking about anything like that.
Yeah.
And in the process, I ended up losing a few pounds.
Yeah. You reprogrammed yourself.
Exactly.
Is what happened. And that, yeah, and that, so that's an extraordinary story because it's so classic, right? And it's a clear cut and dry example of like how you can switch your behaviors over, especially like you realize, it's not that I'm just doing this habit is not isolated. It happens in a certain setting. It
Right.
happens during a certain action. It happens after something, right? And that's how we really start to establish our routines, right? We wake up, when I was growing up, my parents said, wake up, brush your teeth, wash your face, put your lotion and deodorant on.
Right.
And like in that order, right? Brush your teeth, wash your face, put your lotion and deodorant on. And that's the thing that, it became a habit. So I'm like, okay, after I wake up, I gotta brush my teeth. After I brush my teeth, I gotta wash my face. After I do that, you know what I mean? And like you start to do those things. And then after a while, it just becomes, you don't even think about it.
It's routine.
You brush your teeth. But guess what? Waking up and brushing your teeth, hate to tell you, but it hasn't always been a thing that people did.
Right.
Historically, but we had to develop these habits, and a lot of the habits or the programming, so to speak, that we have don't even come from us.
That's
sometimes, sometimes these rituals that we do, they come from other people,
That's true.
They come from advertisers or, not to get too much into that, but like, we have to know where the things is coming from and why we're doing what we're doing,
Right.
why
And
is it a habit?
That's
What
what
about it is satisfying?
That's what, well, for me, it was a matter of something was triggering me to go out and get that food.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what was it? It was sitting down to watch TV.
Yeah. Because you associate that.
Or it could be
those messages, they came from somewhere. There's a reason why you associate sitting down and watching TV with snacking.
Right. And it also could have been boredom. It could have been, so the key was to identify the things that made me do that bad habit.
Right.
And become aware of them so that I could change that habit and reach my goal.
There we go. Good. Awesome. Like over the pandemic, we talked about this a little, I think it was last week. I was talking about like how during the pandemic, I started like just moving every day. I made a commitment to myself. That was the habit I wanted to work on in 2020 was, okay, I want to move every day. I want to do something. and I left it general so that I could actually accomplish it. So,
Yes.
it wasn't, I didn't say like every day I'm going to go to the gym and like bust out 2 hours. Or actually, that wasn't even an option back then. but, I wasn't saying like, okay, every day I'm going to take my weights and I'm going to do like, I was doing, I think daily burn at the time. Like, I'm going to do daily burn every day, or, cause I didn't feel like programming any, if I'm being real, I didn't feel like programming any fitness thing for myself. I was just like, oh, let me go daily burn and, and do that with some online trainer. And I didn't say just do that. I didn't say, okay, just get up and dance, because I love to dance. We all know.
Yes, we do.
I said, let's do something every day. And when you can't, and when there's like nothing that, I don't know, you're not doing a workout, so to speak, then at the very least, you're going to go out and take a walk.
Right.
And that's what I did. And I spent, and I spent pretty much the whole year doing that. And then it got cold.
You still walked. I showed up at your house that
I did.
day.
I walked this
You were walking.
I walked this morning. You've seen me actually show up, like coming from walking.
Absolutely.
I do. Yep. If I don't have anything to do, I will still do that. But since it's been freezing cold here in Connecticut, I just kind of been like, I think at one time I went out, it was maybe like -11.
Oh no. Oh,
and I'm walking my like 6 miles, and I'm like, frostbitten and stuff. So
God love you.
Yeah. But you know what, now that it's starting to get warmer, 40 degrees or whatever that means, warmer.
Heat wave.
But heat wave, exactly.
Heat wave.
It's getting hot now. It's getting hot now. So I'm getting back into that groove, and so that's a habit that I want to continue to work on. And I have another habit actually that I've been doing. This is a financial habit. So when you're talking about like, it's a financial fitness, financial health, right, habit. Every morning I saw this thing, I saw this meme really, and the meme said like, oh, something about like $27.40 a day. If you put that aside, that's all it takes to have $10,000, and think about like in a year, and you do the math and it works out, right? So now every morning what I do is I wake up and immediately I'm like on my banking app, and I'm like taking my money and moving it from, into a savings account or to an investment account. Like, okay, I'm going to move this money every day. And I'm making a habit of doing that because I want to make a habit of putting money aside, but it has to, yeah, I mean, but none of it's comfortable, right? Like when you're starting a habit, none of it is comfortable. There are definitely days, especially when the bills come to my door, and I'm like, oh, I do not want to put this money aside. You got to do it anyway. When it's cold outside, I'm like, I don't want to walk outside, or I'm hurting. I'm sore. I'm sore all the time.
Yo, yeah.
Well,
you need to go back out and let somebody kick you in the ribs again. That'll make you feel better.
Why not? Yeah, exactly. So I'm sore. I really don't feel like going to Muay Thai or to dance, right, or to whatever. I don't feel like teaching this class. I don't feel like getting out of the bed. But you know what? I gotta do it anyway. Like, right, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Sometimes you just want to sit down and have the chips, or the lime Tostitos. Like sometimes you want to do that.
Yeah.
And you got to think like, if I'm building this habit, for that time you were building that habit. So it's like, oh, I'm not going to do that because it has to be up here. You have to conquer it in the mind. And that's for any habit that, that we're trying to accomplish.
And it's really unfortunate that it's so easy to go back to something. Oh, yeah. And that's the constant work. That's the constant work. That's mm-hmm. the constant.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It has to be, they say that it takes 21 days to form a habit, but that's misleading. It's more than 20, for most people. More recent research says like 66 days. Some people, they need a year, of real just constant pumping it out. So it's highly individual. You're gonna have a couple of rock stars who can, 21 days, and they're like set on in a new life.
Yeah, but I think though 21 days gives it's
a good
after
jump
those 3 weeks, it's easy and it's easier. It really is easier after that time.
It is easier because that's around the time that you had to jumpstart your habit. And yeah, it's like, okay, especially when it's sugar, because sugar is an addictive sort of, how it
Yes.
works in the brain. It works like a drug. And I
Yes.
think because of that too, when you're not dealing with it, it is almost like a detox.
It is.
So you don't have,
I actually had a
that
headache.
physical, yearning for it, that craving. Yeah.
I had a headache. I had headaches
Oh, you went through
because
withdrawals. Yeah.
because I mean they weren't like severe, but they were just annoying, and I knew that's what it was from.
Right.
Because I was used to having that something sweet every day. Growing up Italian, I hate to say it like this, but growing up Italian, you develop these habits even when you're young. So after you eat, you hit like something sweet, and so
I'm
that's
like
the
that too,
thing.
and I'm not Italian.
Maybe you are, and you just don't know it.
Maybe. I don't know. My ancestry.com did not include that in my European
Okay.
profile.
Okay. Well, see, I'm thinking it. I'm putting it on my ancestry. Maybe it's not even. I don't know. But that was for me. I could feel it. I had a headache. I had to get over that. I had to get past that.
Yeah, yeah. It's always going to be rough, And so, to think about with the 21-day habit challenge, thinking of things that are going to be like when things get rough, right? It's a little bit sobering to understand that when you're doing it with a group, like we're all hurting together.
Exactly.
We're all
Exactly.
hurting together. We're all going to get through it together. But that with any of that, and I'm even going to bring that, so far as to like addiction, eating disorders, even exercise disorders, right? Like just so much different things. And yes, it does exhibit itself in the physical space, but it is a mental thing. It's a mental thing. So in our mind, we have to understand and expect that it's going to be difficult, but you have support,
Right. Right.
So, with that, I want to give a little plug because I know we're running out of time.
And we are. It's actually almost 6:15. So.
Is it? My clock says 6:11.
So okay, I've got the wrong clock.
No, but either way,
Okay.
I know. Either way, I know we're running low on time. So I do want to give a little plug for the group. So the Facebook group that we have, it is, and I think that this is great that we're offering this for free because we have this 21-day access to us coaching folks through real habit change, really jumpstarting that, having micro lessons in habit change, in being a habit change specialist and being really super focused on that, in addition to us being personal trainers, and being able to also support folks in that way as well. The idea is that, listen, you're going to tell us what is it that you need to work on, and we're going to support, and help facilitate that change, help guide you through that. Having those accountability buddies and those mentors within the group is going to be super helpful because they're always going to have somebody, whether or not it's their peer or whether or not it's one of us as their coaches. They're always going to have somebody to feel like when they feel like SOS, I feel like throwing in the towel, it's always going to be somebody to kind of sober them back up into the reality of like, no, this is what you signed up for, and you're going to work through this because you can, and because you're strong enough to do it, and because you said in the beginning that you were committed to it, and this is not a group where we're just going to sit up there and be like, oh, you want to quit? Okay, we're going to challenge you on that a little bit. Like,
right.
Like, nah. This group is not for quitters.
No, and that's why the people that I think that the people that are signing up or have signed
we've
up,
got 40 people. Woo!
And those people they want to do it, and that's why they signed up. And you know what? We're going to give them the tools.
That's right. That's right.
And
So
they're
in
going to
the
get the support.
future, for anybody who's interested in joining, like let's say in our next challenge, I mean, there's some more space here. We're going to start on Monday, but if you don't make the cut for this 21 day, you can always sign up and we'll let you in on the next one. The next one will be next month, but you can go to our website. So Fit New Life, that's in you. So FITNULIFE. .com, and then right there you'll just go to start your journey, and that will bring you to our page, or you can just request it. It's a 21-day habit challenge. So facebook.com/groups /21 habit challenge. So, or habit 21 challenge.
It is habit 21.
Habit 21 challenge. Okay.
21.
Facebook.com/groups /habit 21 challenge. There we go.
Perfect.
Perfect. That was
Perfect.
great. That was great. Anyway, Sharon, it's always great to see you, to talk to you, to have these conversations.
Likewise.
All right. I'm excited.
I can't wait to start this. It's going to be fun.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk next time.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.